Hey Tyler, are you gonna be a zombie today? Call up the AD, or call me up, and get over to the film house to get your zombie makeup on. All right, man. All right, bye. Hunt down zombies.
We started the cinema program way back in the late 70s when the Dean Sidnell's name, he's deceased now, asked me if I would start a film program. I was making films myself, sort of art films, and I said I would. And we started with very small enrollment, and the students who came all wanted to do more than just art films. They wanted to do Hollywood films, movies. So I took classes in Hollywood, American Society of Cinematographer, and we've kept very close tabs over students, so we know what to teach and how to teach it. And the program's developed over 30 years from a few students to now to 60, 70, 80 students, and we're doing summer features. This has also been made possible not just by longevity or time, but changes in technology. Computers, which allow us to do things that we could never do before. Video cameras of high resolution, high definition, which before those were VHS, which you couldn't do much, and before that film, which was very, very expensive. So this, should we say, technological revolution has allowed us to make feature films for relatively small amounts of money, where before it was impossible. So all of this, is wonderful in the sense that everything's changing. And in the changing, it always makes us to learn more and keeps us on our toes. It's a great profession.
The reason this film got made is Ira Shiflett and Scott Strickland were students of mine and friends of mine, and I had always wanted to do something with them. We had spoken about it numerous times. I loved the film department because I felt like that for a small school, it had a unique film department. I felt like that Bill R. Scott was an amazing fella. He built this thing up over the years, and I think some people have no idea how hard he worked and what he accomplished. And I wanted to add to that. I wanted to bring something to that would bring attention to this film school. And I believe that this film has the potential to do that. So to me, it's very, very exciting.
Well, we got started shooting feature movies in the year 2000. And we've done it ever since, every year since. As far as I know, we're the only school in the United States that shoots with undergraduate students feature movies. It's been very good. It helps our students to learn what's going on in the big world, should we say, and prepares them for it, and they've been very successful. Well, always in the past, we've brought in at least one professional, usually we call it a line producer, but since this one had a larger budget and there was a lot of special effects to do, we brought in special effects people from Florida, New York, a director from Los Angeles, and then the DP from Dallas and the art director from Dallas. Both of those, the DP and the art director, were my son and daughter.
My name's Terrell Lee Langford. I was brought in to direct the summer feature. What a director does, a director does a different job on every movie, considering what kind of crew you got or cast you got or what, the goal of the movie. A director is there to try to have a vision of the movie and try to, jam that vision, using the script and all those other people that are there into the camera. That's why you try to do that. You know, you never get everything you want, or sometimes anything you want, but that's what you're trying to do.
I've known Lee Langford for a long time. I'm not exactly sure how long, but quite a while. And he's someone that I know is not only a great novelist, which a lot of people might not know, but he's been in the industry for years. He knows every end of it, up and down, from acting to lighting to directing. He's done it all.
I'm not a fan of zombie movies, to tell you the truth, but this is different. It has a message about giving up love, having to give up love, which we all do in one way or other sooner or later in life. And also, the zombie twist to it has a lot of humor in it also.
My name's Damien Maffei. I play Calvin in Christmas with the Dead. Calvin is a troubled man who lost his family. He's trying to make up for what he didn't do, trying to keep some promises.
I'm Casey Lansdale, and I play the character of Ella. And she is the catalyst for why he goes through all the trouble to set up the Christmas lights, because Ella really loved Christmas, really wanted him to have that experience for their child, and he didn't do it. So during the apocalypse, that becomes his mission.
Damien is one of the few humans left alive. That his wife has become a zombie, his child has become a zombie, his whole world is ended. And I'm just out randomly collecting bodies, and I would see a zombie occasionally and shoot them and things. And for me, it's just my job. And I come across Damien, and we slowly bond. We sort of pair up, and it's a buddy movie after that. Ultimately, in the film, my purpose is to help Calvin go ahead and accept reality and move on with your life.
Always in our summer features, we're shooting exactly how, shall we say, Hollywood features are being shot. So we have all the different jobs, such as assistant director, director of photography, gaffers, all of these who are doing their specific jobs exactly how it's done in the professional world.
The job of the associate producer is to basically just take care of the nuts and bolts of the production before production actually gets rolling. And if they need help with production, then that's a different story. But basically, it's the job of making sure the actors are taken care of as far as like when they're getting down here, when the crew's getting here, taking care of contact information, just the nuts and bolts of a production. That as it ascertains to actually making sure that the filming goes completely smoothly, and then the AD takes over, a lot of that job as well once production starts. So basically, it's me making the AD's job a lot easier.
I'm Shay Howard. I'm the first assistant director. I'm a production assistant, a high-powered production assistant, and I'm the right-hand man of the director. The AD should stay at the director's side and help him deal with his requirements and to help coordinate the other department heads. First AD calls roll, and traditionally he calls all quiet on the set. The students work 12-hour days typically. Many were constantly mindful and alert. Some of them needed to be reminded to stay vigilant. And as AD, I'm partially responsible for their productivity. And so I tried to address their concerns if they have a problem, and my concerns about their performance sometimes went higher to the producer, their professor, who assigns grades.
I'm Marian Erskine, and I'm the production designer. And what that means is that I'm basically overseeing the art department and the makeup department and the wardrobing. I mostly concentrate with the art department and the wardrobe this time because it's pretty intense to help make the movie have a really dramatic effect. We painted all the walls and tried to do a nice color palette through that to give it some interest and just make it look a little bit nicer than a standard white wall that it was when we started.
I'm Miranda Dubos, and I was the art director this summer. The art director's job is basically the same thing as a set designer. You go in, you design the overall look of the set, you put it all together days before you start production. Working with Marian is awesome. She's always there for help. She has a lot of creativity, and she's been doing this for years, so she's really easy to work with. She kind of lets me do my own thing, but she's always there if I need help.
My name's Ben Fort. I was assistant art director on the summer feature this year. I did everything from work on sets, build sets, paint, all the way to being on site for anything they would need from me.
I'm Heather Bove. I worked on wardrobe for this year's summer feature. From the beginning, the first thing that I have to do is break down the script and divide it up with every character, every extra, and then you divide days, how many outfits each character is going to need, and then throughout artistic license and whatnot, you just kind of fulfill those needs. And then we have to sit on set also and just make sure that everything looks good on camera.
Most of the zombie clothes were given to us, and we just had to get like scissors and stuff and just cut them up, and then we got watered down paint and we would make it like look all messed up and dirty and stuff.
My name is Lizzie Alvarado, and I am makeup for the summer feature. I do straight makeup, so I do the actors that aren't all zombied out mostly, and then every once in a while I'll help out with some of the zombie stuff when it gets crazy. For the men, it's simplistic as you can be, so I just put mostly just like translucent powder on them, and then if I was doing a girl, I would just do her regular, like girly makeup, And since you're the makeup artist, you get a little bit closer to them than a regular crew member would. And so you can joke around with them and stuff like that. But you also see them whenever they're a little bit grumpy, and you have a little bit more of a personal friendship with them than a professional one at times.
My biggest joy is to come in and give a little bit of enlightenment to people and let them see what can happen with just a little bit of art direction within a movie. Because a lot of times people think, oh, I'll just go shoot it wherever, it's already said it's done. But there's such a magic that can happen with just a little bit of nuance, just a little bit of rearranging, just a little bit of somebody really scrutinizing, looking at the image as opposed to the acting and the overall completion of the movie.
She allows us to make a lot of our own decisions, which is nice, because that gives us both creativity, and it allows the students like a learning experience, what it's like to have to design something or choose or make decisions about colors and patterns and that kind of thing. I know that there's probably going to be a lot of people out there who are not going to give us that opportunity.
Marcus Cook, special effects and makeup.
I'm Kat Bernier, special effects, makeup.
We have a range of zombies. There's some really old zombies who have been, dead for 6 months, and then there's other people who are survivors, but you don't know what they were doing, and then kind of got thrown into the mix. And there's some people who are real fresh. So we have all kinds of variants on, the stages of decay. So we've got some really fresh, bloody ones, and then some other really dried up, old gray corpses. But anything prosthetic wise is that's longer to apply.
And it's hot here.
Yeah, battling the heat here with the makeup, because it is Texas, it is the summertime, it's hot, it's humid, and we're shooting. There's a handful of night scenes. Thank God the dance sequence was at least at night, but yeah, a lot of daytime stuff, and makeup just doesn't hold up well in heat. So it's been a lot of do the makeup and shoot it as fast as they're out of the makeup room. So.
The zombie makeup was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I didn't have to go through the prosthetics and, the time that takes, but they started out, with veining and a little bit, and then they ended up with, I think, potato flakes on me, looked like skin peeling off, and I really enjoyed that. And Kat and Marcus, who did the makeup, are really great. They do a lot of special effects, and we enjoyed working with them.
This is my first time to Nacogdoches, or ever kind of being involved with a program like this, where we're actually making a feature film and all the students, handling all the crew. So that's been totally new, and I wasn't sure what to expect coming in. And it's just been awesome. We loved everyone on crew. So
I love it because you're around people that they're new in it and they're excited about it. And the cool thing is if you give them a good experience, they're going to be really excited. And it's something that they're going to remember for a really long time. And you look back and you're like, oh, I remember when I thought that way, or, and they have so much drive. And you want to encourage that to keep the passion. And everybody here is awesome.
Yeah,
They really
that's
are.
a lot of fun. I mean, meeting a lot of new people and, making new friends. And, hopefully if, I hope a lot of the students here, like, continue in this business because it's not easy. Like, I mean, if this gives anyone an example of how things get, I mean, things don't always go the same each film, so you're always encountering new problems. But if you can learn from any problems on set, then that better prepares you for something later on.
My name is Mike Johnson, and I'm the second AD/zombie Wrangler, which means that I just help out Shay, who is the first AD. I'm in charge of PAs and helping distribute them, and most importantly, I guess the zombie Wrangler part of the job is where I have to sort through a list and call a bunch of extras and, sort through little pieces of paper that people give me about some guy who wants to be a zombie, some friend they have that wants to be a zombie, someone they met at like some bar that think they wants to be a zombie, and like some kid wants to be a zombie. So they take all these little pieces of paper and emails that I get from all over the place and text messages and get them on one list and then go through and call them. And it's a lot of work, I guess. So it's certainly a different side of movie making than I've experienced so far. Zombie schools are basically where the extras who want to be zombies come in here, and a choreographer or myself or Lee, the director, they'll get up there and they'll tell them exactly how they're supposed to move, because they don't want this movie to be exactly like every other zombie movie that you've ever seen. They want the zombies to move a little differently and respond a little differently and just make the little tweaks that make this story unique.
My name is Bill Arscott, and I was director of photography on the summer feature 2011, Christmas with the Dead. As a director of photography, my job is to bring the vision of the director to the screen, try to capture visually what he has in his mind to tell the story. I'm responsible for principal photography. I also oversee the lighting, I see camera department, and it's my responsibility to make sure that we get all the shots and get it in a professional and appealing manner. This being my fifth feature, it's interesting to see how the projects change, but the students pretty much stay the same. Everybody's very excited to be here. Everybody wants to do a good job. They all endure the hardships of East Texas in the summer, and that's a challenge right there in itself. But to see the dedication of the students wanting to fulfill the jobs that they have to do and making the movie, it's pretty awe-inspiring.
I'm Lauren Chamberlain. I was gaffer for summer feature, which means I set up the lights, and whatever setups Bill wanted, we did with the electricians. Working with the DP is really creative because you have to come up with ways to satisfy how he wants a certain area to be lit, and we've figured it out ourselves. I worked with Carrie Burns, Justin Herring, and also had Jake Wagner-Russell, and they were really great to work with. They at first we all stumbled around because we didn't know what we were doing at first, but we got the hang of it really fast.
As an electrician, I pretty much assist the gaffer in anything that she needs. Supposedly we're supposed to, electricians just work with the power and things like that, but there's 4 of us on the gaffing team, and we pretty much distribute the jobs as much as we can. So whoever needs help, whoever can get there the fastest, things like that, will be the one who gets to be on deck.
My name is Michael Millichamp, and I was a camera op this summer feature. A camera gets the primary shots the DP will set out to get, while B camera will be in between us and in different angles, just getting what he wants basically. And he'll have a zoom lens to zoom in and out and get just basically everything covered from every position that we didn't get. My 2 assistants were Jeremiah Kelly, he was my first assistant camera, and then Tyler Turhall was my second assistant camera. And Jeremiah basically helps me set up the rig every morning. He does it himself pretty much, and while I talk to Bill or get the cards from Mike Murphy, the media manager, I learned a lot from Bill, and he taught me a lot about lenses and about the camera and about basically what looks good, so I learned a lot from him.
My name is Corbin Hubbard, and I am the B camera operator. I'm there to get the bonus shots that A camera might not get. and I get close-ups and like inserts that we need. What Olivia's job would be, she would get the camera, she would set it up, she'd put it on the tripod, put it on the monitor, and whenever I need to change lenses, she'll go and fetch lens and bring it back, and if it needs to be cleaned, then she'll do that as well. I like working with Bill. If you don't get something right the first time, he'll go back and like teach us like what we need to do right. You know, show me like where I need to be positioned and what kind of close-up I might need or what insert I might need to get.
Adam Hamill, I'm the key grip, and basically I'm in charge of the grip department, the people that set up the equipment and just whatever needs to be done. I'm supposed to kind of work with Bill, the DP, but with such a small like grip team, I usually end up doing, you know, just as much as them. But I like doing that though, so it works better that way. The dolly grip is a member of the grip team, and his main responsibility is the dolly, is working the dolly. We help him set it up, and then when it's time to actually do the dolly shot, he is the one that pushes the dolly along. In this feature, I hope to get, I guess, just learning how to do the job, but also just how to work with a big team like this on a real feature.
Hello, my name is Ryan Blackburn, and I am the sound mixer. And what the sound mixer does is he has a recording device and controls the level of input that is being recorded from the lines and other activity that's going on set. And it's his responsibility to make sure that the levels are as such they can be used for the main production in the final cut. And the sound crew is completely independent from the camera crew, meaning I have my own recorder, and Alex, my boom operator, he has his microphone and his boom, and we can run around anywhere in the room within however much cable we've got between ourselves and really get in for optimal positioning for Alex to get the sounds that we need.
The boom operator is in control of the microphone. We're there kind of right in the action, getting the sound for people, for the actors, and we are there trying to stay out of the lights and keeping the shadows away so that we're not getting in the shot, making sure that we get good sound.
Some of the issues as a sound operator come with extraneous noises, meaning anything from the crosswalk signal down the block beeping and this what's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic setting, and traffic and other people and stuff like that. There's really not supposed to be anything like that going on. That's one of the benefits of using the hypercardioid microphone, is you can adjust it to where if a sound is running perpendicular to the microphone, it's not going to pick it up so much. So we can kind of work around using that type of microphone with those methods, as well as filters and stuff like that to cut out certain frequencies and everything. And that's pretty much on set. And what you can do afterward in post-production is far beyond that.
My name is Casey Furch, and I am doing continuity. Continuity is generally making sure that the film, like once we shoot the film, once it goes to editing, that it'll cut. So it's kind of one of those like hidden jobs where you don't notice it unless it's wrong. So it's just kind of making sure that from one shot to the next, everything stays consistent. So it just is watching, shot by shot, taking lots and lots of notes, and just keeping a good eye, I guess. What I do is I get notes from the camera team, A and B camera, and I keep a log. I have like 2 separate clipboards, and what we do is we take the clip number after every clip, and we also work with the sound guys and get the sound numbers. And so after each take, we try and make sure and get all our separate numbers and then make notes for each take for the editor and for the director, just to have to reference.
My name is Nathan Bird, and I am the script coordinator. Script coordinator's job is to make sure that the actors and the director and everyone is following the script as closely as possible. I make sure that the actors are saying their lines correctly, and if the director decides to change a line, I go in and mark it in the script. I also line the script, and what that means is I go through and make sure that the camera has gotten a shot of every actor saying every line on the page. Also, at the end of the day, it's my job to come up with a wrap report for everything, all the information the producers need, like the schedule and all the scenes that we shot, all the scenes that we haven't shot, just so that way they know how things are going and making sure that their money is being invested well.
My name's Andre Burnett, and I was the production assistant on the summer feature. The production assistant just works under the AD. Just pretty much take the orders, what needs to be carried out, walkie-talkies, transitioning the actors, pretty much quiet on set, making sure everything is taken care of, food's taken care of, getting water to all the actors, getting water to the crew, the grips that were working hard the whole summer. So anytime they needed water, I got that to them. Pretty much taking all care of the runaround work. I really didn't know what to expect. I knew that it was going to take all my time, and it did. It took all of my time. But as far as what I got out of it, it made me more disciplined, which I needed, and it really made me dedicated to film, which is why I'm here.
My name is Peyton Paulette, and I was the unit production manager. Well, prior to starting this movie, I was a accountant, and I have got a master's degree in accounting, and that was my previous field of expertise. It's pretty seamless transition going from accounting into a unit production manager, just because we had to do this pretty much the same things, which is business law, production of contracts, handling of budgets, spreadsheet work. That all goes in with unit production manager, and that's mainly what I went to school and learned how to do. The program here at Stephen F. Austin I believe, is really unique. This is what drew me back here, was that the reputation that this school has of actually students coming in, just less school work, less theory, and more doing. Here's a camera, go make a movie. And that's what really drew me to this program. That's why I think this program is extremely unique. It's really awesome. I mean, just you can take, like me for example, I had never made a movie and had never really been involved with anything. I got thrown in the middle of it, and now, I mean, just in a short period of time, which was a little over a month, maybe about 5 weeks, I learned so much about film. That's from pre-production, production to post-production, and I'm still learning. So it was a really unique experience. I learned a lot about film. I learned a lot about camaraderie. I learned that the auteur theory is not really that viable, because it's not just one person that makes a film, it's a whole crew. And I saw that we all came together and we made this film happen.
Oh man, I had a lot of fun. I think I've learned more from the summer feature than I have from any others. And I don't know, I really, the experience is really worth it.
It's just really cool to get to experience that before you even actually get out into the real world, while you're still in school.
Basically, I had a great experience working with my classmates, my friends, and professionals.
You meet so many people. This is where everybody in the film department becomes a closer knit group. We feel more, as our Scott always says, as a moving part.
Any film that you can walk away from is a good film. Just like any plane you can get off of that lands and you walk away from that plane is a good landing. So this is there's a lot of things that happen, but I think at the end of the day, you got a film in the can, and we all learn some things. So any film that you can walk away from is a good film.